Another beautiful day in the Philippines. Dumaguete, Philippines, that is. The sun's shining. I think all the rain is obviously north of us. Some clouds, but pretty nice. Pretty nice Saturday morning. Still morning. Chiefs here says, what's good, family? And then I'm already jumped ahead to Manila. Martin, free for all. That's my speed. That's what's going on, my friend. No topic. Well, typically it turns into a free for all anyway. But welcome, Chief. Welcome, Martin. Thank you guys for being here. I'm getting started a little early. Yeah, I don't know, just bad timing, getting a little too late. I don't like the later ones. I think a lot of people, I gotta be respectful of the people on the East Coast in the United States, like Chief, he's in West Virginia. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I know what time it is. 11, which would be 10 o'clock at night for you, Chief, right? 10 o'clock at night, Friday night, PM for you, and then it's obviously Saturday morning, 11 a.m. for me. But yeah, I'm here. It's a very, very nice morning. 2 days of rain back to back, kind of clouds, so it was nice to wake up to some sunshine. But as always, Chief, Martin, and I don't know who else is here, if there is anybody here yet. Takes time, but it's a free-for-all, so we can talk about whatever you want, whenever you want, drink whatever you want. Actually, I just have the H2O water with me for now. I'm not getting my coffee, my traditional coffee just yet. I wait a few more hours. Plus, between the water and coffee, like I always said, I don't like being caught in the middle of a live stream outside and having to pee. And I don't always like doing it Filipino style, where I just find somewhere and just pee alongside the road. I've only ever had to do that once. So I got some nice shade, some coconuts, but I'm not under the coconuts, so I don't have to worry about any of them hitting me in the head, unless it would really just blow over here. But yeah, I only got stuck having to pee outside once, Philippine style. That was because I was on a bus for way too long. And yeah, I had to go really, really bad within an hour of my destination. So yeah, I had to demand that the bus pull over so I could pee along the side of the road along a fence, but it was nighttime. It was dark, so nobody saw me. So but yeah, Chief says hi to Martin. Martin says hey to Chief. Chief says yes, sir. Martin says looks like we have the same weather today. Well, that's great. That's awesome. I guess I don't know how much rain everybody's getting north of here. I'm not completely sure, but you know me, I'll take this. Obviously, we need rain once in a while, but I'll be glad when rain season is behind us and then we get I don't know, maybe it'll start late December, January until May or June weather. That's what I'm looking forward to. And then you can take your trips a little bit with more confidence, knowing that you're not going to get rained on. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful morning. And I'm always good with this. Like I said, if I'm going to do lives, I got to be outside. It's bad enough that I got to sit on my butt. But it's nice. It's not, I mean, temperature-wise, it's definitely in the 80s, but cool breeze, as always, coming off the ocean. It's not bad at all. Jipperhead. Chief says, I thought it said free beer. That's why I was first. I knew I'd get you, Chief. Sorry, I didn't mean to trick you. I could definitely, I could hand out free water. I'd even go buy some coconut water. I'd even go out and buy some coffee and share it with you guys if you were here. The good stuff, the more expensive stuff. Well, even if I would buy something for somebody alcoholic-wise, that would be for you guys, not for me. I would enjoy treating you with your beer. Trying to remember, Chief, I think you said you drink Michelob Light or something like that, or Michelob Ultra. Or I could be completely wrong. Between Red Horse and that some type of light beer that they drink here in the Philippines, and then obviously the Tanduay, you can't forget that. Yeah, sometimes my mind, I don't remember alcoholic beverages. That's not a part of me. I can't really remember it all the time. Martin says, give it a few years, you have to pee every 30 minutes. Well, you know what? I guess that could be a good thing and a bad thing. If you're keeping yourself hydrated, along with drinking coffee, I think it don't matter who you are. If you're drinking a lot of water like I do, I overhydrate probably. But then again, the minute you drink the coffee, it like extracts the water from you, and then yeah, you got to go. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, Martin. But appreciate the reminder, the heads up. Jimmy John says, "Huh, Michael, happened to me many times. It gets more frequent as we get older. You know, that's what everybody keeps telling me. But I'm gonna work on that." My father kind of had some issues with that, and my brother actually, through research, tweaked some things in his diet. It kind of eliminated his frequency of going to the bathroom through the night, disrupting his sleep. So as long as I don't eat food or drink anything super late, I think I don't know, at least for me, it works where, I mean, I'm always drinking water. That's kind of hard for me to regulate. I never feel like I have enough. And probably with all the walking and sweating, I don't even realize it. But his frequency was like eliminated. Like, I still think he has to go maybe once or twice through the night. But yeah, I think my dad, I think he was probably going like every hour, I think. Yeah, he was having that issue. I don't remember exactly what my brother tweaked or helped him with in his diet, or he was deficient in certain supplements, natural stuff that maybe he wasn't getting from food, but I know it's a lot better than what it was. But I also think when people have some anxiety and stress, and you could have it and you don't even know it, some people, it's just difficult for them to relax even when it's time to go to sleep. And if I drink coffee like too late in the afternoon in the day, I'm screwed. like that would disrupt my sleep, probably forcing me to wake up to have to go to the CR. So yeah, I kind of know, last time I drank 2 a day, coffee 2, 3 would be a stretch. And usually the last one I drink is no later than 2 in the afternoon. At least that's what I shoot for, because they always say the caffeine tends to hang out in your body for up to 8 hours. But again, though, I know people that can drink coffee and fall right to sleep. They crash. That doesn't happen to me. Yeah, I'd be wired and up all night tossing and turning. But thanks for the update, Jimmy John. You're making me look forward to getting older. Jimmy John says hi to everybody. Chief says hi to Jimmy. Jimmy John says hi, Chief. And then we got John Park Numa. I remember you, John Park. You're laughing, but I remember your emoji, little picture, and your name, John Park. I remember you. I don't know how I remember your name, but I do. I know another guy. Last name is Park too. He's from Korea, and they own a coffee shop here, and maybe that's who John Park is. I'm not sure. Maybe that's him. But I do have a friend that's the last name's Park. Married to a Filipina. They own a coffee shop here. But welcome, John. And then we got Jackhammer. That name even looks familiar too. I think I remember Jackhammer from the, obviously what a jackhammer is. But that, he says, wait, jumps down here when I get updated. Says Jim Beam and Cola Zero with no sugar. Yeah, that would probably be great. Hey, I remember back in the day drinking Jim Beam, Jackhammer. I just gave up alcohol, and you might say boo-hoo and whatever. I stopped drinking hell over 20 years ago. Now, I wouldn't say I had an addiction. I was a social drinker, drank with my friends, got stupid. I just had too many headaches. I always got headaches, and I'm sure the reasons for it were a number of things other than the obvious, but yeah, I always got headaches, and then as I got into my health and fitness kick, I just started eliminating things that, for me personally, I knew that didn't have any health benefits. But yeah, I did the Jim and Coke, Jim Beam, I did Jack and Coke. I definitely preferred liquor over beer when I was drinking. Although the microbrews, the flavored beers, I did, I kind of like too. I remember pumpkin ale for whatever reason, but that's cool, Jackhammer. Thank you for being here anyway. Yeah, I can reminisce about my days of drinking. But that's like a distant memory, but I have some funny stories. Martin says it's not a good thing, trust me. I'm assuming you're referring to the frequency of having to urinate. Art Park Gardens here, Art Chair says, Kumusta ka, Michael and Shay. Thank you for being here, Art Park, Art Chairs. It's just me, I'm flying solo. Shay's got some things to do, plus she's dealing with her time of the month, so she's not feeling too great, which I understand that. And this is early, this is like kind of like Michael's time, walking, now talking, on the coffee, and it just keeps going and going, but this is my time. I love this. I have so much fun, and it's therapeutic, like showing you. It's a beautiful day here in Dumaguete, Philippines. The clouds, for the most part, have moved on. I just love, even looking at a coconut tree. How beautiful is a coconut tree? As long as you're not directly under it, you don't have to worry about the coconuts hitting you in the head. But yeah, I'm amazed and happy from the littlest things. But thank you, Art, for being here. Martin says, well, you won't sleep much either. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. Yeah, I feel good. I feel young. Like I said, in April, for anybody who doesn't know, I celebrated my 55th birthday, which allowed me to retire early, thankfully, and God bless the blessing of having a pension and being able to work it out and a little savings, and then whatever becomes a YouTube obviously can contribute to my happiness here in the Philippines as well. But yeah, I'm blessed. I feel good. I feel great. Everything I do between the exercise and diet is paying off for me. I mean, and I sleep fairly well for the most part. The only time I don't sleep well is when I screw up and drink coffee too late or eat something too late. Something, you know. But sometimes that happens, you know, later plans, someone has some sort of party that we're invited to, and I'm just up a little later and eating food a little later, and then, yeah. But those are the types of things I'm willing to pay the price for. I don't miss being hungover. I was just one of those guys who was sensitive, I guess, that it didn't take me much to drink at all, and I'd wake up with a darn headache. I would hate it. Absolutely hated it. I mean, if I ever woke up without a headache, I don't remember when it was. I don't remember. Obviously, my hangovers outweighed waking up just feeling great after a partying. That was funny though. Young man in thy youth. Jimmy John says, hi, Art. Chief's waving the Art. Dazzle, my brother from another, Gino, says, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Gino. Thanks for being here. I'm happy as all can be. Beautiful day, a little cloudy, but mixed clouds and sun. And you know what? I can definitely tell when the sun's out. My energy's a little higher. Yesterday when I do a live, I mean, I feel energy and I feel happy, but the sunshine definitely kicks it up a notch. So yeah, and I haven't had my second coffee, so I can't say it's because of the caffeine. And the one I have until my mushroom coffee gets delivered apparently on the 10th through Amazon, the kind of cheaper stuff I wouldn't normally buy. It's like instant, but it's like, I think it's Nescafe Gold or something. And I only ever tried that because Che had it, and I think Lee and Gary had it before. That's not my true go-to coffee, and I don't even know what the caffeine level of that is. But yeah, so I'm waiting on my mushroom coffee. My energy is purely driven by being happy in the Philippines. And as you can see, we got the main street here along the boulevard. Traffic's not too bad on a Saturday. But I love it. The sounds of the motorbikes, it's all good. If I hear some roosters, it's all good. I haven't heard too many dogs barking though, but it's all good. I'm happy. Those little things, don't sweat the small stuff. But thank you, Gino, for being here. And Bill, my man Bill, says hi to Chief, says hi to Gino. How you doing, Bill? What's the weather like? I need a weather update. I always love it when you give me the cold winter updates. I don't envy you, but I still like getting the updates, and it kind of just, I reminisce of what it used to be. But welcome, Bill. Chief says, Bill Myers, good to see you. Gino says, this came from Liana's Kumon and Kalabu Aklan. Well, I'm glad you're stopping by, Gino. I know everybody gets busy, and I'm always appreciative of each and every one of you guys. Just as much as maybe you guys get excited for my live streams, I get just as excited for you guys. Obviously, the more the merrier, but you guys are like becoming my brothers, so it's like, and sisters, whatever. I mean, Sula, I didn't see her. I know she's been busy. She had a, kind of similar to you, Gino. Sula had a dog. I think she said it was 19 years old, which I think that's a very long time for a dog to live. So she's had some, it's like a loss of a family. And that's like I said and to you guys before, I'm not good with pets. I get very attached to obviously everything and anything and everyone. I'm not good at handling loss at all. I dread the day of my mother and father. I dread it. I've done everything I can to mentally and physically, I guess, prepare for that day. I'm blessed that they're both 85 years old and still going on and moving on strong. God bless my brother. He's the one taking care of them. So, yeah, I'm not good at loss, Gino. And that's probably why, I just mentioned yesterday, and I think it was Ray's live, like Sula was there and had mentioned about the loss of their dog. And I have trauma just from as a being, I think I was 10 years old or younger, right around that age. I had a hamster. Now I know a hamster isn't a dog, but again, I'm attached to everything. And when my hamster died, it was awful. Absolutely awful. And I remember that like it was yesterday. So anyway, sorry to rant, but hey, it's a Saturday free-for-all. We can talk about anything, and maybe people can relate to stuff like that when they're younger. I mean, Manila, Martin, and Jimmy John, they're all filling me in on what it's going to be like when you get older and you have to frequently urinate through the night and it disrupts your sleep. So let it rip, guys. Whatever you want to talk about, that's what this is all about. I like free-for-alls anyway, and that's what it ultimately becomes anyway. But John Park Numa, wait a minute. I don't want to go too far. Did I miss something, John Park? Nope. Okay. I'm right where I need to be. Chief says hi to Gino. Where the hell did I lose my spot? But anyway, yeah, Gino, good morning, Michael. Bill says hi, Chief, and Gino. Chief says, Bill Myers, good to see you. Dazzle, okay, now I'm where I need to be. It jumps down there on me. Chief says hi to Gino. John Park Numa says, yeah. Miss Dimple is here. Good morning, Miss Dimple. I love it when you show up. We need the Filipina female perspective here in the live stream. You bring a different element. Obviously, you're a woman. So thank you, Miss Dimple, for being here. I always appreciate it. Mix of men, women, Filipino, Filipina, whatever. I'm glad you're here, and happy weekend to you as well. John Parks Numa says, thank you for remembering me. Of course, like I said, it's a combination of the park and then your emoji, your logo. So that's how I remember you. And of course, I appreciate you coming back. Gino says, hi, Bill. Hi, Chief. John Parks says, I'm in Texas. Okay, now that'll be the trick. Remembering that you're from Texas. There's always an additional thing to learn, and I like it. It's fun. Shows you that your brain still works. You got to keep your body working, but you also got to keep this working. Probably your brain's probably more important than your body, because if this don't work, this ain't working either. So yeah, this is good for like brain therapy, kind of like algebra and geometry and all that stuff. People always used to say, what in the world is that good for? It just works your brain. So I need that as well also. So appreciate it, John Park from Texas. Bill's with the emoji waving. Chief says hello to Miss Dimple. Martin says, haha, amateur number, sir. Come see me when you drink 2 cups an hour. Yeah, that is, I know, you're right, Martin. I'm not gonna disagree with you. That's an amateur kind of thing. But see, when I drink the mushroom coffee, I can drink 3 to 4 and it's fine, because it's natural. There's coffee in it. It's called Everyday Dose. It's very good. But there's natural L-theanine in mushroom coffee, Martin. And it prevents the highs and the lows. It keeps you like this. So it's a good, happy medium. There's no spike and there's no drop. So actually, I can drink multiple cups of the mushroom coffee. But obviously here, since it takes so long for me to get through Amazon, I can't drink it as freely and get carried away. And then I'm like, holy cow, before you know it, I'm running out. And I got to keep an eye on it when I get down to like, I have 3 coming. So it's almost like once I get down to 1.5, I should probably order the next one. So when I'm drinking nothing but mushroom coffee, I can get away with it. And I'm good and I'm fine. So I'm amateur, I guess, when it comes to the double espresso coffees here in your typical coffee shops. Yes, I would be considered an amateur. You're right, Martin. And Charisse from Washington State, thank you. She's our second female that I'm aware of that's in the chat. Welcome, Charisse. Happy to have you. And yeah, it's happy Friday for you. Happy Saturday morning for me. But welcome, Charisse. Welcome from Washington State. How's the weather? How's everything going? I just said Miss Dimple, another Filipina female. We need the female perspective here in the live streams as well. It's a free-for-all, so comments, questions, thoughts, memories, ambitions in life, whatever you want to talk about, just talk about it. This is fun. But I'm glad you're here. And then we got Bluey Louie. I know you are back again, Bluey Louie. Bluey Louie is back again. How are you doing, my friend? I'm not sure if you ever gave me your real name, and that's okay if you don't want to. I usually start to learn and associate people's names or where they're from, Bluey Louie. But I do remember your name, Bluey Louie, or Blue Louie, because it kind of rhymes and it has a ring to it. But welcome back, Blue Louie. Chief says hi to Charisse. Martin says at John, which part of Texas? And then we got the famous Ende Che, who anybody that doesn't know Che is my girlfriend. So she's here on the live stream. Welcome. If anybody doesn't remember my name or know my name or want to know my name's Michael. I'm from the United States, living abroad in the Philippines, and I'm sitting here at the Boulevard in Dumaguete, Philippines. Not bad, partly cloudy, partly sunny day, and I'm just happy to be alive. And yeah, thrilled to have my live stream and start chatting with everybody. But welcome, Che. Che's having, I don't want to say she's under the weather, but it's that time of the month. But thank you for being here, Che. She's another female to bring the female perspective to the live stream. Chief says, hello, Miss Che. Bill Meyer says, heat wave this evening, 34 above zero here finally. Yeah, no doubt. I remember that. Like when you're getting into 10 to 15 degrees below zero, and then you get like 30s, which is still freezing, well, 32. Yeah, we're like, wow, it's a heat wave. Or even if the sun comes out, it just feels good. Yeah, I remember that all too well. Someday it'll be a distant memory. But like I always joke with people, I sometimes still miss like the cool, crisp, like just a cool, crisp blast of air. Especially sleeping at night. That's when I would appreciate spring and fall. You get those chilly nights and you can open the window where it gets down to like 50s, 60s or 50s at night, and you're just covered up under your blankets to keep warm. Yeah, I would love that. I do miss that once in a while. Gino Dazzle TV says hi to Che. John Park says, all right, he's from San Antonio. You know what, John? We gotta do this. I'm in the blue jacket mood. And well, let me see, hold on. I'm going down too far. Did I go down too far? No, blue. All right, here, blue. Just because you're nice, I'm gonna give you the blue jacket. But don't take advantage of your powers of the blue jacket. That's what I always tell people. Don't take advantage of it. I'm just kidding though. I know you'll be good. And worst comes to worst, someone takes advantage of their blue jacket privileges. You know, they just lose their jacket temporarily. But Chief says hi to Charisse. And then, hold on, I lost my. Gino says hi to Che. John Park, San Antonio. David Jessup's here. Hello, David. Welcome back, David. Oh no, you're green. Oh, I see you here. Hold on. Kuya Casanova says, hello, Mike. How you doing? Kuya Casanova, welcome back. David says, hi, Mike. David, I'm glad. If you're willing to share any update on your travels here, please feel free to do so. Update everybody. When you're looking to be touching down in the Philippines, you could have been to and from the Philippines probably 3 to 4 times by now, David, huh? Probably. I'm just glad you're safe and you're gonna be all right. Thank you for being here, David. Chief says, Kuya Casa. And again, David, he just got another membership. God bless you. Thank you for humbling me to even want to be a member of my channel. Again, you guys all are humbling blessings every time, but welcome, David. Welcome back to the green life. David's a Green Beret, so he wears the green with honor. I made a mistake at one time giving him a blue jacket and not thinking that he liked the green, or wanted the green, I should say. And he's like, I don't want to be blue, I want to be green. And I quickly switched that back. So yeah, David is very proud to be green, and rightfully so. Much respect. The military service members are my heroes. Aside from my father, well, my mother is too, but like from a male perspective, my father is my hero, and all the men and women service members. Chief said, David Jessup, are you getting close to Ray yet? David saying, I'll renew or become a member, people. I appreciate your sponsoring me and your pride in me, but it's okay. People don't have to do that. I know it costs money, and that's hard-earned money, and whether you're a member or not, I love you guys all, and I'm thankful and I'm blessed. So appreciate that, David. David says yes, very soon, which is great to hear. I think a lot of people are just looking forward to meeting you, obviously, David. You're a great individual, so giving, humble, caring, generous. I go on and on. For somebody that I've only ever met and known through YouTube. Obviously, we email outside of YouTube, but yeah, you're just a special individual. There's a lot of people on here, but I feel bad because your journey has, that's been one heck of a journey. Let's just put it that way, one heck of a journey. Bill says 11 inches of snow forecast to start in 10 hours. Damn. I can remember blizzards of the early 90s in Pennsylvania, and it was just like blizzard, big amounts of snow, shovel it, got higher and higher, and before you knew it, your driveway, you couldn't even see in it. Like even to pull out of your driveway, you had to like close your eyes and hope nobody else was coming because you couldn't even see left or right to get out of your driveway because the snow was piled so high. But holy crap, Bill. But I'm sure you make the most of it, Bill. I'm sure you make the most of it. Chief says, wow, Bill. Yeah, wow. I mean, Chief, you're in West Virginia, so you guys get snow too. I guess maybe you haven't had that much so far this year. David says, hi, Bill. Hi, Manila. Chief says, David Jessup, hello. And then we got Melanie Mitchell. Melanie Mitchell, I am at the Philippines. My name's Michael. I'm from the United States, but I'm currently living abroad here in the Philippines. And I'm sitting along the boulevard in Dumaguete, Philippines, having my live stream and just living my dream life and enjoying life and happy to wake up every morning because it is still morning here. And then I get to look forward to my live streams when I do them daily with all my friends and meet new people who become friends. So, yep, where are you at? Where are you from, Melanie? Where are you from, Melanie Mitchell? David Jessup says hi to Chief. And then we got Niels Christensen here. Hello, Niels. Welcome, 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 my friend. How are things going? Thank you for being here. I know it's nighttime for you, but I always appreciate you being here. Always a pleasure. You're a good friend, great supporter, and yeah, one of many blessings of all the people that I meet here. David retracted. Chief says, Niels, thanks for the membership, sir. Yes, no doubt. Thank you, Niels, for Chief's membership as well as you becoming a member of my channel as well. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Your generosity is, I'm speechless. It's really great. The doors that YouTube has opened for me, just by me being me, it's really awesome. Art Park Garden says, hi all. That quote, Ecclesiastes or something, I can't even pronounce that, Art, but chapter 11 verse 9, which says, rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth. That's a cool quote about the human body and its prime. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in my prime. Sometimes I feel like I'm in my prime. I'm blessed to be 55 years old. What in the world is that, Papa? David just sent me electric guitar gift. That is really neat. That's actually really, really cool. That's the first gift I've ever gotten, electric guitar. I'm not very good on a guitar, but I think you know how to play, David, so maybe you're gonna have to play the guitar for all of us sometime. So nice, so generous. God bless you, David. Thank you for that, the YouTube gift. That's really, really cool. So yeah, I like that quote from the verse from the Bible. I'm going to read it one more time. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth. That's a cool quote about the human body in its prime. God bless you. I love that. That's really cool. Like it a lot. Yeah, I do the audiobook Bible all the time now. I'm not a big reader, but I do that. Neil says hey to David. David says, hey Niels. Wolfgang says, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Wolfgang. Thank you for being here. How's your day going? Anything new? You know me, just in my normal spot. Some more activity of people walking around. Sun's not out as much, so then they come out. Or if they're out, they have an umbrella. But yeah, more people are coming out a little by little. But this is my view, hanging out with you wonderful people. Thank you again, Wolfgang. Chief says, Niels, I've been watching for you to thank you. Yes, he has, Niels. He's been looking for you. He was the blessed and lucky recipient of Niels' generosity for a random person to get a membership for my YouTube, which is absolutely amazing. And Neil says, Chief, I'm glad you got it. David Jessup says hi to Wolf. Wolf says, are you close to Robinson's? Well, I'm close to two of them. There's one basically up a couple blocks and down over right here in the city. And then there's Robinson's Mall. This is more of a supermarket here. And then there's Robinson's Malls, which is walking distance for me. I walk everywhere. Maybe not everybody would walk to Robinson's Mall from here, but remember, everybody, although my last name is not Walker, Chief gave me the name Michael Walker. That would be me. And that's a cool name to have because I was always a big fan of Paul Walker. Fast and the Furious and many other movies. I always thought Paul Walker was a super cool guy. But yeah, I'm close. Chief says hello to Wolfgang. Neil says, hey David, where are you now? Wolfgang says, at Chief David High. And then Ray is here. Hello, Ray. He says, hey, walking dude. Yes, I'm the walking dude. But I'm just sitting on my butt, although it hurts after a little bit because I'm on a bench, but it's still hard under my labut. And that just goes to show you how little I sit because it doesn't take long for my butt to start hurting. But thank you for being here, Ray. Carlene 12D says, I'm from Mysore, another female. So you're another female. Well, welcome, Carlene. I'm not sure if you're saying where you're from. If you want to repeat that and tell us where you're from, I appreciate you being here. My name's Michael, from the United States, living abroad here in, Dumaguete, Philippines. You got some coconut trees here and just a beautiful bench and restaurants. I'm along the strip here where I do a lot of walking. I'm a crazy walking dude. David says hi to Ray. Chief says, Ray, what's good, brother? Ray says hello to David. And then we got, I'm gonna try and do this. Maybe Juice, Giuselpia. It says good morning, welcome Giuselpia. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but welcome to my live stream. Feel free to say hello to any and everybody. You can let us know where you're from. Again, I'm Michael from the United States, living abroad here in Dumaguete, Philippines. So good morning to you. The fact that you're saying good morning makes me believe maybe you're here in the Philippines. Wolfgang says at Charlene, hi there. Ray in the Philippines says, all good in my good. All good in my good, Chief. Colton Saunders, hello Colton. He says, where are you in the Philippines? I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines, Negros Oriental. Dumaguete, Philippines. I'm right along the boulevard actually right now. But welcome Colton Saunders. Where are you from, my friend? Carlene says, I'll try that again. Hi, I'm from Missouri. All right, welcome, Carlene, and welcome from Missouri. I'm born and raised and from Pennsylvania, but as I said, I'm here living my dream. I call it my dream. I'm living in the Philippines. I'm a warm weather guy. Love the ocean, love the beach, love the nature, love the waterfalls, love the warm weather, round and round and round. And it's a beautiful day here in the Philippines. So welcome, Carlene. I appreciate you coming here and saying hello. Everybody in my live streams you see in blue, a lot of them I know I've become friends with, either from here in the Philippines or living abroad, and very, very good community here. Lots of great people. So if you have an interest in the Philippines or any questions, feel free to ask me. If I don't know, somebody else in here will know, no doubt. Ray says, yeah, that's right, always good in my hood. I was like, always good in my good, which makes sense, can be all good in your good. I'm gonna just call you Juice for short. Watching from the Philippines. Well, welcome, Juice. I love the Philippines, obviously, or I wouldn't be here. People always ask me, and I'm going to say this to you because you're in the Philippines, maybe you're Filipino. The number one thing that I love about the Philippines that keeps me here and why I love it so much, regardless, despite all the other amazing things here, the people is first and foremost. That's why I'm here. I love the people, especially here in Dumaguete, Philippines. The people are amazing, welcoming, always saying hi. They basically treat you like your family. You know, they already know you, and if they don't know you, they acknowledge you maybe with their eyebrows. They acknowledge you, you know, doing the eyebrow thing, which I like. So yeah, it's awesome here. Awesome here in the Philippines, but welcome here. I'm just gonna call you Juice for short, if that's okay. Chief said, Ray, the bottle you got for $18 is $30 here. Yeah, I think everything here, when it comes, maybe alcohol-wise, I think it might be cheaper. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure Ray could fill us in on the prices of that. But I think it is cheaper from when I remember him talking about it before. And Charisse from Washington State, I'm always going to say that because I'm not going to forget where you're from, says, hello, Chief. David says, hi to Che. I'm just fired up, David. It's getting so close. People are, it's almost like I think we're going nuts. We want you to be here so bad and enjoy yourself, and I'm sure you do too. Heck, if I was in your shoes, as soon as I got here, I'd probably just want to go right to the beach, be on a hammock or something laying in between two coconut trees. You deserve it anyway, David. Wolfgang says, Che, hope you're not grumpy. She's not too bad. She's in pain from her time of the month, but quite honestly, she's never too bad about it. I'm sure there are people that are worse. She's a good sport. She's tough. Chief's asking Che oh wait a minute, he's asking Charisse what's for dinner. Normally ask Che what's for dinner, but yeah, I guess it would be dinner, to getting close to dinner time, or maybe Charisse already had dinner. But you can tell us what you had for dinner, Charisse. We're always interested. I miss American food sometimes. Ray says, hey, Che. Chief says, Ray, you ignoring me? He's laughing. Wolfgang says, at Ray, hi there. Neil says, at David, where are you? Are you in the Philippines yet? Everybody's waiting to meet you. No doubt, David. It's like like Christmas Eve, except Christmas Day hasn't come yet. Everybody's waiting for David. Ray in the Philippines says, hey, Wolfie. Bill Meyer says, hello to David. David Jessup says, not in the Philippines yet, but soon. Neil said, at Juice, where are you in the Philippines? My wife and children are in Calasayo, Panga. I'm terrible. Pangasinan. I guess I get a C for trying that. David Jessup says, I will let Ray know when I'm on the plane. Thank you, David. Chief says, David, don't let Ray know until you're knocking on his door. That would be funny, Chief. I like that humor. That would be absolutely funny. Ray says, I'll be here still in holding pattern. Ray says, Chief says, Ray, will let you tell Lynn I said hello. Yeah, hello, Lynn. Maybe she's just watching. Lynn said hey to Chief. Hello, Lynn. Wow. Cool. Niels did it again. He sent one gift membership and it went to Wolfgang. That is so awesome, Niels. Thank you so much for doing that. Again, you already did that before, now you're doing it again. Your generosity is unbelievable, and I'm thankful and blessed that you do that on my channel when you could do it on any other channel. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me, and congrats to you, Wolfgang. You are the lucky contestant, the recipient of Something Simple membership. It's not simple, it's something. That's awesome. Thank you, Niels. Appreciate it, and congrats, Wolf. Ray says, nice, Niels. Chief says, Niels, thumbs up. Wolfgang says, Niels Christensen, thank you very much for the membership, no doubt. Niels, again, thank you. And he says, you're welcome. Chief saying, Ray, put your shirt on. You know, it's kind of funny, and I only made it for members only. I was going to tell you guys this. One of the last couple live streams I did with Che, and we were sitting here at the boulevard along the water, and it was dark. And Ray made a comment about, you know, how when Ray gets drinking, sometimes the oh boy nipples tend to come out. Well, you know how when you do a live stream, the AI in YouTube automatically takes something from your live stream and creates a short from it. Well, it created the short from when I was talking about you, Ray, about the nipples, and I've seen enough of that where I get nipple nightmares or whatever. But I put it for members only just to begin, just to give something for members, because I feel so bad that you guys get memberships, and I'm like, I gotta provide something. But I was gonna convert it from members to public. So keep looking for that short, Ray. It goes hand in hand right with you without the shirt, and I called it the oh boy nipple, and I said something about OnlyFans and something, and that's what that's what YouTube AI took that segment from my live stream and used that, and it was hilarious. So I'll put that to public soon. But yeah, Chief, laughing about Ray with the shirt. Wolfgang says, Niels, where are you from? Scandinavian. He's from US, but I'll let him fill you in. David says, I should just show up at Ray's doing this. You should just show up. That would be funny. You just show up. Neil says, I'm American, but my grandfather came over from Copenhagen, Denmark. That's it. Copenhagen, Denmark. And then I see your little thing where it says David Jessup set the guitar. Again, thank you so much for the gift, David. You're always, and you actually got another membership as well. Again, what people do for me does not go unnoticed. It's heartfelt. It truly is heartfelt. Ray says, how do you know I was shirtless, Chief? Chief has that ability to basically, I think he can teleport to anywhere in the world. I think he teleported to your apartment. And he has invisibility as well, so he teleported with his invisibility, and he saw that you were shirtless, Ray. Wolfgang says, Niels, I see, I'm Austrian, stay in Thailand. Chief says, Ray, we got eyes on you. You're exactly right. What's that song by Somebody's Watching Me? Did it private? Or no, that's Private Eyes. That's Daryl Hall and John Oates. I have some of the old songs in my brain, but I'm sure if I don't get it, Ray will tell you. Ray is definitely more tuned into the old music, and it clicks in his head right away. Ray says, it doesn't work on mine since mine is a US channel. What doesn't work on yours? I don't know what I missed, Ray. What doesn't work on yours since yours is a US channel? Putting tape over my camera. Ray's laughing. Oh, Ray says Lynn's making him lumpia again for lunch. That's awesome. Miss Dimple says, you're welcome, Michael. I'm always thankful you, Miss Dimple. You're very supportive, and like I said, I'd probably say I definitely have more male in my live streams than female, so I greatly, even more, truly appreciate the females that come in here. And you're one of, not many, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Miss Dimple. Ray in the Philippines says, David, we'll party with our shirts off. That'll be an oh boy moment. That'll definitely be an oh boy. Wolfgang said, you guys have a look on the channel from Jen that's simply Pinay, very authentic and kind girl. On the channel from Jen. I'm getting confused who Jen is, Wolf. You guys have a look on the channel from Jen, simply, uh-oh. David, somebody singing, looks like somebody, a gift of a singer singing karaoke. Oh, that's Wolfgang. That would be Wolfgang singing right there. That was the wolf singing into the mic. Thank you very much for that cute gift, David. That was awesome. I like when it shows up on the screen. It just made me think of Wolfgang howling, singing into the microphone. But I'm confused what you're saying, Wolf. She's actually in Dumageddon. Channel, look on the channel from Jen. Oh, her name's called Simply Peni. Very authentic and kind girl. I'll have to look her up, or Wolfgang, you're gonna have to remind me because I'm not sure I remember. But she's actually in Dumageddon. Well, that's good because I'm always looking to meet other, you know, vloggers in Dumageddon or anywhere. They're looking to do collaborations, and you know, everybody. It's good to make friends, and I think everybody can benefit their channels by collabing with one another. You know, everybody has different viewers, friends, subscribers, and I think that could be beneficial to everybody. But thank you for the wolf singing in the mic gift, David. That was funny. It just made me think of Wolf singing into a mic. Wolfgang says Dumageddon. And then we got Shamroth Homber. I apologize if I'm butchering your name. I'm going to say Shamrao Tombre 1966 says, how are you, brother? I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I'm apologizing because I'm sorry if I didn't say your YouTube name correctly, but where are you from? My name's Michael. I'm living from the United States, but living abroad here in the Philippines. And maybe you already got that because I see your question down below, which I'm going to get to that. Graham, hey, Graham from Australia says, hey, Michael and Che, hi, guys in this community. Great to be with you again. Hey, I'm great that you're here again, Graham. You've been an awesome supporter, now a friend of my channel, and I appreciate you being here, hanging out. How are things going with you, my friend? I'm just going to call you Sham for short, or Shamra for short, if that's okay. It says, are the Philippines girls friendly? Very friendly. Very nice, very welcoming, obviously very beautiful. Yeah, I tell anybody, I don't think anybody would really have any issues meeting, if you're trying to meet a good Filipina here in the Philippines. I don't think you'll have any issues. Just be yourself, be a good person, and be nice. And yeah, they definitely treat you very well here in the Philippines, Shamra. Wolfgang says, hi to Graham. Thank you very much. Chief says, if you have questions, don't ask Ray. You'll end up drinking without a shirt. Oh, I love the humor that's brought to my live stream. Thank you, Chief. That made me laugh. That's a good one. And see, that's another thing. Laughter, not only is happiness and everything here in the Philippines so awesome, it's the funny comments that people make in my live streams. Laughter is healthy. Laughter is good. And it's all good humor, too. Like, it's nothing like disrespectful or anything. It's just really, it's awesome. Thanks for that, Chief. That was funny. Wolfgang's laughing at Chief. That was a good one. Ray says, Lynn and Che are synced up. Scary. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But that's okay. Lynn and Che synced up. I mean, that's actually, I know you're like saying scary in a good, funny way, but you know, that's a compliment. That's a good compliment. They're linked up. Very, very good. Cherie says she's laughing at Chief elk steaks. Man, I can't honestly say, Cherise, that I've ever had an elk steak, but I certainly would try one. I guess the only way I'd ever try one is if you made one. And I know I'm not going to probably, nothing against Washington State, but I know I'm not going to be anywhere in the States probably anytime soon, barring anything insignificant, but that sounds really good. My usually go-to steak is ribeye steaks. They're my favorite because ribeye has a little bit of fat, and if you cook them right, I just think ribeye steaks have the most flavor. I don't like overly tough, hard to chew steak. I mean, filet mignon is good, but it's very difficult to cook, and I don't like pink in my steak. I need mine medium well, juicy, but not dry. So, but yeah, elk steak, I'd try anything. I mean, I'll try elk steak before I try balut, and obviously I've never tried balut, and we all know why. Wolfgang says, Michael, I was referring to the video you both did about food being #1. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Food is very important for a Filipina. You got to make sure your Filipina's fed. They're skinny, so if anybody has anything in your mind that they're worried about feeding their Filipina too much, they just like they like their rice, they like their dried fish, they like their sardines. At least I'm speaking from what Che likes. But she likes American food too. She kind of likes a variety. She likes spicy food, so I like spicy food. But now I'm with you, Wolfgang. My apologies. Ray said I'm hiding from Chief until I get dressed. Yeah, you better hide. Like I told you, he can teleport, plus he can be invisible. He's watching you. He's watching you, Ray. Chief's laughing at Ray. Wolfgang says, I bet Che is a great woman as long as you get her food in time. Yeah, and see, I don't eat, like, she doesn't eat a lot. It's just like, I just think she always lived where it was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For years, mine's like a breakfast lunch combination, later sometimes in the day, but earlier. And then I just drink liquids in between up until my dinner, and that's it. I eat twice. And if I do crave and have like a hunger and I need a snack, I'll go to FoodNet here and get a piece of barbecued boneless chicken on a stick and eat that. That'll crave my appetite, no problem. And if I need 2 pieces of chicken, I'll eat 2. But yep, she's good as long as she eats. And sometimes she needs a nap. And that's all right. That's just who she is. That's what they're used to. I don't take naps, at least not yet anyway. That could be another thing to look forward to as you get older, needing to take a nap and then frequently urinating. Yeah, that could be a problem. But my brother did send me a video today, and I might post it, I don't know where, maybe on like my Facebook, of a 90-year-old man got down and did 20 push-ups. 90 years old, did 20 push-ups. If you do them now regularly and just keep doing them, I don't think you ever lose that. And obviously, all you guys that are military, former military, that stick with your push-ups, the more you do, the easier they get. And if you keep doing them, you don't lose it. You just keep doing it and stick with it. But yeah, like watching that 90-year-old get down and do 20 push-ups was very impressive to me. David says, too many scars for me to take off my shirt, Ray. Well, you know what, David? Those battle scars, those are like kind of like a different version of a permanent tattoo. So, I'd respect that, seeing somebody with scars. I wouldn't worry about that, but I'm sure like at a beach or whatever like that, you're exposing your scars anyway. But much respect to you, David. Cherie says, it's opening deer and elk season here in Washington State. So we do a lot of hunting here. All right. So you guys are getting your, so you have people in your family that hunt your own elk, or someone else does that for you and then you just go out and buy the fresh elk somewhere near where you live, Charisse? Either way, that would be cool. Sounds like, Washington State, I'm sure where you live, maybe obviously you live in a very, do you live out in the country, surrounded by a lot of nature, or what's it look like? I prefer nature. Obviously here where I'm at in Dumaguete, it's a little bit of everything. You got a little city townish, but not an overwhelming city feeling like I felt in Bacolod. And as I tell everybody all the time, you go over here to the port, you take a boat, 30 to 40 minutes, you're at Siquijor Island, and there's so much to see over there. And then you go the other way and you can go to Bohol. So you got options here, but I definitely prefer nature, but this works for now. It just works. And once, like I said, rain season's over, Che and I will become more consistent taking our day trips to Siquijor. And Bohol's on the horizon as well. Plus, I want to get up into the northern islands here to meet a lot of other people between Ray and I'd like to meet, obviously, Michael White, James and Karen. There's a lot of James and Karen. There's a lot of people up north. Gino, like I said, Michael White. There's so many people up in that area that I'd love to meet, and everywhere else. Um, yeah, Rojas City is another interesting place, but someday. Ray says, chicks dig scars. Well, yeah, I mean, especially if they know where they came from. You know, it's a whole other level of respect. Sharice says, at Chief. Chief says, Sharice, I love venison. Yeah, I've had that. David says, I don't need to get hit with a shovel, Ray. So is that where you're saying how you got your scars, from a shovel? Sharice says, hello at Neil's. Neil says, hi, Sharice. David says, we get membership for you, Mike. Thank you again, David. Thank you so much. One of these days, David, we'll be talking over some coffee, and yeah, it'll be nice. I look forward to that day. Sharice says, at Chief, yes, venison is the bomb. We got Josh Wilson here saying Rockwell. Hello, Josh. Welcome, my friend. My brother from another. Ray in the Philippines says Rockwell. And Ray says, oops, Josh beat me. Chief says, Sharice, we have a lot of good deer in West Virginia. Yeah, I think West Virginia has a lot of good deer. Pennsylvania has a lot of good deer. Ray in the Philippines says, I always feel like somebody's watching me. That's because they are, Ray. Especially when you go shirtless. When you go shirtless, and I don't think it matters what you're drinking, but then it's just like your viewers go up, if you haven't noticed, and I'm sure you have. Super guapo, Ray, your SG. And then I get the little thing from David when he sent the husky, and again the gift. Thank you very much, David. Chief says, Ray, is it time for a drink? I don't think any time's a bad time, but I think he also probably monitors himself. I don't know what time Ray. I don't know if I ever really remember Ray drinking in the afternoon. At least I don't remember. Josh said, still waiting for the nighttime sleeping vids, Ray. Ray says, not until later. I'm in lunch mode now. Yeah, you're in lumpia mode now. David says, you were singing. I love singing karaoke too. Karaoke's fun. I haven't done it in a while. I've done it a couple times with some friends here. Yeah, I enjoy singing. It's a lot of fun. Chief says, Josh, Lynn needs to video one of Ray's naps. Yeah, like Navy woman Amy. She did some live streams while she slept, and then the one she got 36,000 plus views just sleeping. But I'd be worried that I'd be doing something stupid or foolish while I was sleeping, and then I'd see the video and it would go viral because people are like, oh my gosh, did you see what Michael was doing? And I'd be a little worried of what I actually do when I'm sleeping. Wolfgang says, sadly, I can't sing, only how. You know what? I think everybody can sing. Even if you think you don't think you're good, just do it and have fun. Enjoy yourself. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. I always tell people that are afraid to sing karaoke, just do it. Don't be afraid to do it, because then you're missing out, unless you're just happy and enjoying watching everybody else do it. But I think singing is good for the soul. I love singing. And then we got Weena. There's another subscriber, viewer like Weena, but yours is Weena. Welcome, Weena. Says, hi, where are you from, Weena? My name's Michael, from the United States, but hanging out in Dumaguete, Philippines, living abroad here, just chatting with all you wonderful people, just hanging out here. But welcome, Weena. Josh Wilson says he keeps a tripod and camera by the bed, you know. I didn't know that, but maybe that's like TMI, too much information. But it's nice to know that, Josh. OnlyFans, might be OnlyFans. Ray says Lynn is close to doing live stream. I'll let her do the sleeping video. Well, there you go. You never know. Weena says it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Weena. Happy birthday. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Weena. Happy birthday to you. Where are you from? And you can share your name if you want, unless Weena is your real name. But happy birthday, Weena, and welcome. Chief says, Ray, how many more does Lynn need to go live? Yeah, I already thought she was over 50, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, Sula was over 50. I do remember that, so maybe I was wrong. Weena says you're from the Philippines. Well, I'm from United States, Weena, but I'm living here in Dumaguete, Philippines. Been here a total of like between 13 and 14 months. Kind of not even keeping track, but like July of 2024 is when I got here. I went home for a couple months to the US and then came back. So yes, I am in the Philippines and I love it here, or I wouldn't be here. But thank you, Weena. And Fortune, hey, good day, Fortune, thank you. I'm always looking for you in my live streams. I know you get busy, you got other lives, which I obviously bounce around too, but I like having you here because of your knowledge, your wisdom, obviously you as a person as well, but I like to give you props on your knowledge and wisdom, experience here in the Philippines, because you add a different element. You can talk about things, and if people have questions, I certainly can't answer a lot of that stuff. I'm still a newbie. I can only give a newbie's response perspective, but welcome, Fortune. Thank you for being here. God bless you. I'm blessed to have you here. I appreciate it. Chief is saying hello to Fortune. Ray says, Lynn was saying, I'll do a sleeping video on the couch. I said, great. Then I can sleep without your big feet kicking me. Always love Filipina and foreigner expat in Tagaytay. Ray in the Philippines. Graham says, Wolfgang, hi there. And again, Graham, love it that you're here. You've been supporting me since day one. You went from subscriber to Blue Jacket to friend to, I think you've been here in almost all my lives. And I appreciate your, just you supporting my channel and being here. It's very, very nice of you. David says, Wolf, my little dog Sassy can howl, but only to werewolves of London. That's awesome. That's right, I did forget about David has his dog Sassy with him. He wasn't gonna leave home without his dog Sassy. So I'm looking forward to meeting Sassy too. Chief says hi to Graham. Dimple says, where's Che? Che last was at home, Dimple. It's her time of the month, dysmenorrhea. And she was also doing a little bit of her laundry and cleaning and other laundry to pick up. She was, you know, doing Che things, but she's here. At least she was here in the chat. But thanks for asking, Miss Dimple. Wolfgang says that David, not me. When I'm trying to sing, I end up in howling because I never sing. And like I said, I don't think anybody's bad at singing. You just got to do it. Have fun, especially here in the Philippines, man. It's like karaoke and the Philippines go hand in hand, and it's an awesome and fun thing to do. And sometimes I just watch. I enjoy watching it. You know, especially when you hear them singing all the old classical American songs, it brings back memories, and they think so highly of the classic American music. Ray says, oops. That's why I do the drinking live streams. It's entertaining. People can call me an alcoholic, but at the end of the day, if I can make some people laugh, worth the criticism, hey, no doubt. I mean, and obviously, you know, I don't know if I could ever do a live stream that long. You've done some marathon live streams, but you're having fun doing what you like to do, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Not everybody has to agree with how you do it, and that's all right. Everybody's different, but at the end of the day, everybody's still good people, and you know, nobody's ever done anything to me, so I look at everybody as you know, good people, and to each his own. You're still a good guy, Ray, as well as everybody else. Simon says, hey, Michael. Hey, all. How you doing, Simon? Welcome. How's the weather for you? Everything good? I don't know if I've seen you in a few days, but I understand people get busy. Just glad to see you. Hope everything's all right. Ray says, come on, Mike. Balut is delicious. And then he's got the eye roll. I can't say whether it's good or bad one way or another, Ray, in all honesty, because I'm just haven't tried it and I have no desire to try it. But it would probably be one hell of a funny live stream if I did a balut tasting live stream. I don't know if I'm willing to stoop to that level. And I certainly wouldn't fake that I was eating it just for people, to garner views or attention. I couldn't fake doing balut, because I think I would if I really were doing it, I probably would just get sick, and that would be legit. Chief says hi to Simon, and then we got Baby Style Videos. Hello, Baby Style Videos says, hello, brother, I need money. Yeah, I'd say probably a lot of people need money. Unfortunately, if I could save the world, I would, but I can't. But I appreciate you being here, Baby Style Videos. Where are you from? Ray says, hey, Simon. Simon says, hi, Boss Chief. Simon says, hi, Mr. Ray. David says, woof, there's howling in the songs Werewolves of London. I don't know if I've ever heard that song. Only song I remember is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. Bark at the Moon, something like that. I'm pretty sure that's the first one that came to my mind. As far as anybody saying the word Bark at the Moon. Ray probably remembers that song. And then he's doing the ooh. Ray says Warren Zevon. See, click like magic. He knows. Cherise says she'll cook me one. LOL, the country. Hey, Cherise, if you ever, just you being on my live streams is more than enough. I know you're so nice and so generous and humble. I'm sure you'd cook me a elk steak. I know you would. Just the thought of you even offering to do that is awesome, and I appreciate it. Wolfgang says, at David, yes, I know this song from Warren Zevon, right? There you go. Cherise says, I'm your first subscriber. Wow. That was awesome, Chief. Chief, you'll always have a place in Cherise's heart now. Number one. Electro Edits, hey, says, hey, Uncle. Hello, Electro Edits. Did you make it to Miami yet, I assume? Or maybe you're stopped somewhere on your journey? Where are you at, Electro Edits? Lorena Philippines says, I'm number 2. Then you'll always be number 2 in her heart. Cherise says, Chief, thanks. Electro Edit says, I'm in Manila. All right, so, but didn't you say you're on your way to Miami? I thought that's what you said. Or I could be completely wrong. Wolfgang says, Ray, so you know how my singing sounds like. Chief saying hi to Electro Edits. Ray says, LOL, Wolfie, woo. And Chief says, Ray, it's definitely time for a drink. Yeah, what are you drinking with your lumpia, Ray? What do you got? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, coconut water, calamansi juice, maybe. I'm sure you already had some coffee. Wolfgang says, yay. Simon says, just subbed. That's a Cherise. Electro Edits, just sub from Simon. Ray says, I would be non-live stream ready at 6 p.m. if I started now, Chief. Yeah, I mean, I know you can hold your liquor, alcohol, Ray, but yeah, if you started now, I mean, you would be like drinking and then made it to a 6 p.m. live stream. You would definitely have one hell of a tolerance. Simon says, Graham just subbed. Ray in the Philippines says, that's not an issue for me. I do stupid stuff while I'm wide awake. Yeah, I do it too. Um, yeah, I do stupid stuff and I don't even have to drink. Sometimes funny and humorous as well. People get a good chuckle out of me. Chief says he's laughing at Ray. Josh says, I snore, fart, and drool. So if I ever do a sleep video, it'll be entertaining. You know what? You're probably right. I'm sure I snore on occasion here or there, depending on the way I'm laying in bed. I'm a side, stomach, like I'm all over the place. So yeah, I think maybe if I'm laying on my back and my neck's tilted back in some way, yeah, I'm sure I snore. Simon says, I will watch it, Josh. Yeah, if you do that too, you'll have me as a like on that live stream. Josh says, heck, I'd watch my own video. Well, yeah, I would too, because my gosh, we want to see what we look like and the crazy things we did or say, or sometimes like I'll even watch some of my segments of my live streams, and it's funny. It's almost like I don't even know who I am. It's kind of different and wild to watch yourself on a live stream. Ray in the Philippines said Lynn is around 42. All right. Yeah, I remember I subbed her, but I thought she was getting close to 50. That's Sula that I think surpassed 50. And Wolfgang saying hello to Weena, which is like Wayna. Ray says happy birthday, Weena. Dave traveled, had a message, retracted it, but hello, Dave, aka Mr. Dave. And then Electroedic says, Uncle, we are going to our flight again in 2 hours to go finally in Miami. Well, I'm glad you're here while you have some layover time to hang out with me. I always appreciate Electroedits. As always, have a safe trip. I don't know if you mentioned how long you're going to be in Miami, Electroedits. How long? Are you just for a short time and coming back, or are you going to be there for a while? Sharice says, hi at Farmer. Thank you so much. Sharice says, hello at Ray. And then Miss Dipple says, Michael, you're a good singer. Yeah, singing happy birthday. I was thinking, wait a minute, how do you know if I'm a good singer? And I'm thinking, oh, she must have seen some of my videos that I have posted on Facebook. So if anybody wants to see me singing, that's the place to go. I don't think I have anything posted on YouTube of me singing, no. Che has stuff posted on her Facebook as well. So I had to think for a minute, Miss Dimple, when you said I'm a good singer. I just kind of just threw that little happy birthday thing out there. I like doing that for people. I did that for somebody else before too. I think it was John on his birthday. Anytime someone tells me it's their birthday, I'll just do a little version of their birthday. If they take the time to be here and then they want me to acknowledge their birthday, heck, the least I can do is acknowledge and sing happy birthday to them. Short version. Birthday's a big deal. It's only once a year, although here, being in the Philippines, I have to admit, I feel like I'm celebrating my birthday every day. Birthday, Christmas, like all your favorite holidays are every day here. Kind of like they said, every day feels like a Friday, feels like a weekend. But I appreciate the compliment, Miss Dimple. Stone Cold is here. Love his name, Stone Cold. Thank you for being here. If see James and Karen visit you guys, as they're always saying, how great Panay Island is, but they've spent 99% of their time there. Yeah, maybe someday, you know what I mean? I know I think they're out traveling abroad. They said they were going through Dumaguete, something like that. It'd be cool if they made a pit stop here. I could share a coffee with them. But yeah, they're enjoying and traveling and seeing lots of stuff. That's the way I want to be at some point. I want to just get out and about more often. Simon says it's a movie, Michael, American Werewolf in London. And actually, I did see that movie, American Werewolf in London. That's like the guy that met the girl or whatever, and then however he became a werewolf. I do remember that movie. I liked it. Oh, okay, Stone Cold, you said yeah, I figured out what you meant. I'd like to see James and Karen visit you guys, as they're always saying how great. Yeah, it'd be cool. They know where I'm at in Dumagetti. It's kind of up to them. Like I said, I'm sure they're busy. It can get tough visiting everybody. But thank you, Stone Cold, for being here. David, message retracted. Wolfgang says, Lumpia asking for Red Horse, I bet. That would, like, you know, if I ever ate food when I did drink, well, you know, if I was eating something and I did want to drink something with it, it was only a beer. Like, you know, liquor, I couldn't drink like a Jack and Coke or something like that with pizza or something like burger. It just didn't seem to go well. But like a beer with a burger or pizza, that always remember and reminiscent, but I could do that. David says the song by the Beatles is Bulldog and Howling in it too. All right, thank you, David, for informing. So it's by the Beatles. It's Bulldog and the Howling in it too. All right. I have to watch American Werewolf in London again. That was a good movie. I always like werewolf movies, like, and that was kind of like a funny, like not so serious, all focused scary movie. It was, if I remember correctly, American Werewolf in London was kind of humorous as well. It wasn't like a pure scary wolf movie. Sharice says, I'm Korean, so I do like my rice and kimchi. Very nice, Sharice. Well, I even think that's even awesome. Kimchi is like sauerkraut. Anything that's fermented, cabbage-like, is very healthy, very gut-friendly, very essential in your, and for me, for gut health in your diet. So props to you, Sharice. Props to you. I like that. Yeah, kimchi, very similar to sauerkraut. Anything fermented cabbage is very good for you. Wolfgang says, at least I would have a beer to Limpia, which is Po Pia here, but similar. Yeah, like I said, if I'm eating pizza, burgers, appetizer type things, yeah, the only thing, when I did drink, I could drink a beer with it. Miss Dimple says, hi, Sharice, I love kimchi too, yummy. Yes, very good for you. Sharice says, hi, Miss Dimple. And we have Sula here. I was just thinking about you. I know you said you had missed the other day, and I understand you're dealing with some things. And again, I'm so sorry, and thinking of you with the loss of your dog. 19 years is a long time, and as I said before, I'm just not very good with loss of anything. I get attached to people, friends, and things very easily. Then I dread the day that I no longer have either one of my parents. So yeah, I try to prepare myself for that as best as I can. But I'm glad you're here, Sulis. Thank you so much for being here. Wolfgang says, at Miss Dimple, hi, are you Korean? I think she's Filipina. Raina Philippines says, hi to Sula. Dave says, I'm in the Muslim part of Indonesia, and I might be hanging out with a 40-year-old mom later. I looked like a slob yesterday, but I still got 5 girls' numbers. You are just like the man, Mr. Dave. You are just the man. The traveling Dave, everywhere and anywhere. And you get overwhelmed. I don't know how all these phone numbers, I'd be getting everybody mixed up if I was trying to even juggle 2, let alone 5. But good for you, Dave. Enjoy yourself and just have fun. Make the most of your time while you're still in Asia. Wolfgang says hi to Sula. Electroedit says, we're gonna be there in 2 months. For 2 months, you're gonna be in Miami. All right. I mean, we're gonna be there for 2 months. I got you, Electro. That's good. Enjoy yourself. That's awesome. 2 months, that's a long time. Yeah, Miami's, it's a lot, it's wild in Miami. I live very close to Miami. Great weather, that's for sure. Sula says, Ray, how are you? Sula says, hi to Wolf. He says, you good? Ray says, I'm awesome. Lunch finished. Nap seems likely. Yeah, Ray, I think your nap's probably coming soon. I'm making you sleepy. And like I said, David says hi, Sula. Miss Dimple says hi to Sula. Wolfgang says, Sula, yes, thanks. I'm fine. How are you? How about you? Electra says bye. Hey, bye. Take care. Have a safe flight. Maybe I'll hear back from you after you get to Miami, my friend. Be safe. Thank you for being here. Sula says, at Ray, sounds great. Siesta. Sula says, at David, hello there. Hope you are good. Yeah, David's getting closer and closer to being here. Chief says, hi to Sula. Sula says, at Wolf, all good now. Thanks, glad you are well. Ray says, Sula is teaching me Gaelic. I'm assuming that's the language in Ireland. Sula says, at Chief, with the star, smiling emoji. Cherie says, hi, it's Sula. Ray says, Ray, ask Lynn to check her subs, please. Sula says, Ray, you are fluent after a few whiskeys. LOL, just talk very fast. Yeah, that would be me. I just go blah, 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 real quick. But sometimes when I talk in English, people hear me and then they're like, Michael, slow down. So I've kind of learned to slow down a little bit while I've been here in the Philippines, not only for Che, but for anybody, because like you kind of take for granted and don't realize you're talking that fast, because obviously when I hear people speaking in Bisaya or something else, they sound loud to me, so I get it. Cheers, water break. Wait. All right, Shula says hello to Charisse and then Miss Dimple. Oh, so I'm getting educated. She says she's half Chinese and Filipina. All right, I didn't know that, but now I do know that. You're beautiful as you are, Miss Dimple. Thank you for being here. Sula's beautiful. Glad you're here as well. Michael, it's busy there, lots of traffic. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely less than normal compared to Monday through Friday, but it's still early. Like once the evening gets here, there's Chin Long restaurant. I've eaten there. Che and I have eaten there before, but it's not that bad. Like it gets a little wilder, hectic later. But like I've always said, when I'm in here in Dumaguete, I don't have any issues getting around, walking around. Traffic always yields. They slow up for me. So yeah, it's not too bad, Sula. Hold on, why is this stuck? Ray said she just checked 49 now. That's great. Hello, Lynn. Thank you for being here. She says hello, Michael and Che. Che is dealing with her time of the month, and this can answer for Sula. So I think she's still at the apartment, but today's day number 1 for dysmenorrhea. So she's kind of she had a little laundry. She likes to wash some of her things by hand, and she's not in favor of going to the laundry. So all my stuff goes to the laundry. Ray knows about that. If people are interested in washing it by their hand, by all means, do it. Knock yourself out. I'm not always into that, though. Unless I get like a grease stain right away and I want to remove it, I get some detergent and run it under my fingers right away, at least to get that out. Because at home I had my own washing machine and could do my own, so then I'd get the shouted out stain thing, get that, throw it in the laundry, and boom, the stain was gone. But congrats on Lynn at 49. Soon to be 50, you'll be live streaming soon. So yeah, she's just taking it easy. Ray says, yep, I need a proper amount of slur for correct pronunciation. You and me both. Again, you guys are better than me. Lynn says, like I said, it's like anything. Practice makes perfect. I have to be willing to practice it and actually do it to get better at it and remember it. And right now, I'm not very good at that. That's one of my faults. Other than the simple stuff, you know, Mustaka and Mabuti and, you know, and Salamet and Guapa Guapa and yeah, all the basics. Lynn says hello, Chief. Chief says, Lynn, you're 50 now. We need lives. Uh-oh. Lynn's coming with live soon. Sula says, Lynn, hello. Sharice said, Chief just subbed to your channel. Very nice, Sharice. Thank you. I keep thinking of that elk steak, I'll be honest. Lynn says, I got 50 subs, Chief. Oh boy. Yeah, you'll be able to do collaboration live streams now, Lynn. That'll be fun. Sula says, laughing at Ray. Lynn says, hello, Sula. Ray says, she might need a couple days. She's on the same cycle as Che. Ah, that's why you said they were synced in. Here I'm thinking, that didn't hit me. Now I understand why you said they're both in sync. Yep, they are in sync. Chief said, Lynn, I subbed with all my channels. Miss Dimple says, my daddy, he's Chinese. Well, good for you. I think all Asian women are beautiful. I'm biased towards Asian women, but again, all women all over the world are beautiful. Just to get that out there. But I have a bias towards Asian women, in my opinion, I think are the most beautiful women in the world. So that's just me. Sula says, yes, what a dose. Pain and bloating and not feeling humid. Yep, that's her. Chief says, Sharice, thank you. Sula says, Chief, you're awesome. Yep, Chief is awesome. Lynn says, I drink, which Che probably knows what that is. I drink Midolpher dysmenorrhea. So something for the dysmenorrhea, I assume. I don't think Che like takes anything. She just basically deals with it. Che just deals with it. Chief says, Asula, you're the best. Yeah, everybody's the best here. Ray says, yes, I brought Lynn Midol when I came. Can't get Midol in the Philippines. Now, I do have some Excedrin pain reliever that Che could take, but most of the time she just toughens it out. I don't know, on occasion she's maybe asked me, but she usually just deals with it. Sula says, never heard of Midol. Yeah, I've heard of Midol. I don't think I've ever taken it, but I've heard of it. Ever since I started taking magnesium glycinate, I rarely ever get headaches anymore. Obviously dehydration can cause headaches. I'm just saying, you know, pain relievers for headaches or inflammation of your muscles or your neck and stuff like that. Ever since I started taking magnesium glycinate, I don't have as much inflammation anymore. Chief says, Ray, Lynn can go live now. You better keep your clothes on. Hold on, I need to wipe that. And then Ray says, Midol is specifically designed for women and that time of the month. All right, well, that explains why I never took Midol. Heard of it, but never took it. Josh says, I tried, oh boy, here we go. I tried cooking chicken again. I could use some of that Midol. Oh boy. What did you try this time, Josh? I give you credit for trying. You got to start somewhere. Was it from the stove or whatever right to the trash? Josh, God love you. You keep trying. And the cooking experiences and this cooking life of Josh. Wolfgang says, having my mushroom coffee right now. That sounds awesome. I'll be having mine hopefully, I don't know, December 10th when it's supposed to be delivered, my package from Amazon, or the 11th. That'll be nice if that happens. Chief's laughing at Josh. Cherie says hi, Josh and Wolfgang. Ray says Midol is a brand of over-the-counter pain reliever specifically formulated to treat multiple menstrual symptoms like cramps, headaches, bloating, and fatigue. I think mainly Chase is just like, hers is all pain and cramps. I don't really ever hear her say associated with headaches. I'm sure there's some bloating involved, but yeah, it's all lower abdominal for her. And actually, it gets worse. Like the way she was feeling when it first hit her this morning, I think was the early stages. I think it gets worse before it tails off and, you know, gets better. I just told her rest, relax, don't do much. If you want to get out, go for a walk, then that's up to you, but don't, you know, don't push it, just rest. Josh says less soy and some vinegar and honey. Vinegar's good. Even honey, incorporating that is good. You can cook it, like I said, you can marinate in the vinegar. I tend to just cook the chicken. If I make it simple myself, it's marinated in olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, salt or powder, Cajun seasoning, all that in a bag, and do it and let it sit overnight. Next day I get up, I just simply fry it in a pan. Fry it in a pan and then put it on a plate. If I want to add vinegar, now you could put the honey in it in the bag with it, and the vinegar, but I just wait till the next day and add vinegar, balsamic vinegar, any vinegar for that matter. I like a variety of vinegar, but yeah, if you do it in the bag the night before when it's thawed out, get a fork and poke some holes in it. Add all the seasons you like with oil. Usually it turns out really good, Josh. But yeah, less soy for you, especially compared to when you dump the whole, you would dump the whole bottle of soy sauce in your last time you said, and that'd be a little salty. David says, okay, Lynn, you have 51 now, yay. Live streaming Lynn, that's coming. And then we got Josh, I don't think Midol goes on chicken, no. And then we got, thank you for being here, Lizane Leyte, Philippines, as assuming, well, welcome, because my name is Michael. I'm from the United States, currently living abroad here in the Philippines, Dumaguete, to be specific, Dumaguete, Philippines. And yeah, I'm hanging out with a bunch of you guys, living my dream here in the Philippines because I love it here. So Lizane Letty in the Philippines, hello, welcome. I'll be sure to check out your channel. I'm assuming you have one when I can, and I can subscribe to it because I don't have two devices on me, so I don't really think I can click on it, subscribe now, without putting my live stream in jeopardy. But welcome, Lizane Lete. Hello. Appreciate you being here. Always like meeting new people daily, especially people here from the Philippines. So God bless you and welcome here to the Something Simple live stream. Feel free to comment, say whatever you want. It's a Saturday free for all here in the Philippines. Josh said need to air out the house, but only 30 Fahrenheit here. So you're saying you need to air it out because of your chicken experience didn't work out too well? Chief is saying hello to our new guest, Lizane. Again, welcome. Sula says, it is Wolf, is it nice? I heard it's very close taste in the coffee. I love it. You know how I feel, Sula. Everyday dose or the cuppa version. I bought a jar or that one time and it was maybe not a good brand. Yeah, although it was expensive. We'll try a different type. Which brand? I highly recommend, and it's not cheap, but online, Everyday Dose, because there's real coffee incorporated in it. Does not taste anything like mushrooms, doesn't smell like mushrooms. It has all the health benefits from the functional mushrooms that are in it. Tons of amino acids, it's just healthy. Collagen, everything you need in it. Kappa is its rival. I've never had it because I can't order it here in the Philippines for whatever reason. Kappa does not ship through Amazon to the Philippines, which stinks, but I can get Everyday Dose. Very similar, but apparently there's a little more coffee infused in it, but has all functional mushrooms. And then they do taste tests between Everyday Dose and Kappa, going head to head, and sometimes Everyday Dose is the winner, sometimes Kappa's the winner. So it's kind of like pick your poison, pick your choice, pick your option. And you know, that's all I can only tell you from Everyday Dose perspective. But my dad did get Kappa because he had heard it was more coffee in it. He likes it as well. I said, can you tell a difference? My dad's older, 85, slight dementia. So he's like, I'm not so sure I can taste the difference between the two. I'm sure you can taste the difference between Everyday Dose and Kappa. I'm sure both of them are great. Until I taste Kappa, I can't say, but definitely check it out, Sula. Everyday Dose is what I get. Again, if you're on Facebook and you ever have a question, Sula or anybody, my link for Facebook is in my bio on YouTube. My link for Instagram is on my YouTube bio. So anybody and everybody, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always looking to meet new people as well as help them with anything that I might know that could help them. Cherie says hello to Lazane, I like that name. Wolfgang says, at Michael, thanks again for suggesting that kind of coffee so I can enjoy to have a cup again, because since I had colon cancer, I stopped drinking coffee. That would be much safer than drinking regular coffee also. The acidity is not even noticeable. People who have acid reflux have also had better success drinking Everyday Dose. I'm guessing it would be the same for Kappa since they're very similar. Again, I never had Kappa. I can only speak for Everyday Dose. Love it. Don't have acid reflux. Don't have the highs and lows from the caffeine. You talk about skin, Sula. You always talk about skin care and this and that. Well, when you have collagen infused in your diet, whether it be the coffee that I drink or whatever else, collagen helps with skin, hair, nails, all that stuff. So Wolfgang, I mean, I'm sorry that you had to deal with colon cancer, but obviously everything goes through your colon, and that's why people need to sometimes realize at some point, if you ever have stomach issues and stuff like that, you need to change your diet. Something could be affecting it in a negative way. Might not happen right away, but over time, it could be a problem. And you don't want problems with your digestion and your colon. It's the same thing, you don't want problems with this brain up here. You know, I learned something. It's like we all have two brains, here and your gut. If one's not working right, the other one's gonna have issues too. And gut issues are very, very, very common more nowadays. Especially, I can only speak for the United States, how bad it is. It's diet. It's as simple as that. It's what you're putting in your body. But as I always say, to each his own. You got to do what's best for you. And I don't want to have those problems. I've seen too many people, my mother and father and other friends and family, and you know, I just don't want to have that stuff creeping up on me. Anything's possible. You know, it's not to say that everything I do, something can't creep up. I can't wake up one day and have something wrong. That's certainly possible. But I feel like my chances, my percentages hopefully go down by doing what I do. But cheers. All right, let me see. Ray says, you know what type of coffee is good, Just Coffee. I like regular coffee too, Ray. I drink it. Just less sugar, you know, because regular coffee actually has health benefits too. It does. What I drink is just coffee incorporated with some other health benefits as well. So I'm kind of killing many birds with one stone by drinking that. Sula says, Chief, I missed you, my friend. We didn't chat for ages. It does seem like ages, Sula, but that just goes to show how valued you are as a friend and how much people care about you. And these relationships get stronger and stronger every day. The only way it can ever make it stronger is obviously with time, but someday being blessed and being able to meet each other face to face. Ray says, okay, and Wolf. Chief says, Sula, I've missed you too, was giving you time. Of course. And you know, Chief, you're a great person. That's why when I know you were with your grandchild, I know you're away. We missed you. Like, it's easy to miss. You can have a lot of people in your live stream, but you still always notice who isn't there. That's kind of neat when you start to notice people that aren't there. You know, you always hope everything's cool and there's nothing wrong or anything like that, but I knew you just had a grandchild, and your grandchild deserves more attention than me anyway. Sula says, that Wolf, that's good you found that. Sula says, time to recover from the last time I talked to you, Chief. You do have that effect on women. This is funny. Chief says, can you get Che a gift? I'll get her whatever she asks for then. I can do that for you, Chief. Much appreciated on the super chat. God bless you. Always, this is a regular thing for you, and you're spoiling the hell out of me. Thankful, appreciative. God love you. God bless you. We'll see what Che wants. She doesn't get coffee that much. She makes her own, and sometimes I think it's the milk at coffee shops when she gets the latte. Sometimes something just unsettles her once in a while. I'm still trying to diagnose her situation, but I think the best thing is sometimes if she just eliminates certain things. But she likes calamansi juice. She likes lemonade. We'll find something for her to drink, Chief, so thank you. And then David sent one Something Simple gift membership, and Ray was the lucky recipient. Thank you so much. That's awesome. See, I'm just reading this now, so obviously you sent that a while ago, David, but God love you, appreciate you. You're another one that spoils the living daylights out of me, and but I'm always humbled. This isn't expected, and even though you continue to do this as well as anybody else, I'm always gonna be humbled. I've never ever had anybody do stuff like this for me ever. It's even hard for me to let people do it. Like, even if I go out to eat, I kind of jump the gun if I'm with somebody new, and I'll pay for the dinner. I'm not good at allowing somebody else to pay for me. I don't know why, it's just who I am, and I get that from my father, you know. Everything I can tell you guys that I can go back, everything associates with my father and my mother, obviously. And I feel good when I say that, you know, because it's true. When you're young and your mother and father want to be strict or discipline you or don't want you to do this or that, at the time you say things to your mother and father that you never should have said, or you feel like you hate them, or you say just things that you certainly regret. Once you get older and you realize you hit that certain time in your life, which was many years ago for me, that wisdom clock goes off in your head. You get wisdom at a certain time. I always say it was like my late 20s, early 30s, and those things resonated with me, and I was like, oh, that's why my mom and dad did that, or didn't allow me to do this or that. And I say to myself, they were so right. It all makes sense to you once you get wiser and smarter and mature. So although my mother and father aren't watching us right now, they do watch live streams, but that was kind of the theme of my live stream yesterday, family and parents. But shout out to my mother and father. God bless them always. They've done a lot for me, and they made me the man I am today, and without them I'd be absolutely nothing. I wouldn't be where I'm at. Yes, I've gained things along the way, you know, living and learning, good and bad, but I owe it all to my mother and father. I really do. And as far as I'm concerned, having Mother's Day and Father's Day once a year, that's not enough. honestly, I think it should be more often. It really should. It should be more often. So, um, God bless you, David, Chief, all you guys, even for being here. Um, Ray says thanks, David, and congrats, Ray. You're the lucky recipient. Chief says, Sula, I'm always here if you need anything. And we know that, Chief. You're always there for all of us. You really are. David, everybody's here for, it's just a blessing. Ronito, you know what, Ronita? You say, do I remember you? I do remember that name, and I'm not just making that up. It certainly, I think, has been a while. I couldn't tell you where you're from, but Ronito, that does, or Ronit, that rings a bell. That does jog my memory. But thank you for being here. You can let us know again where you're from or share your name or whatever, but thank you for being here. I need to get this power bank out of the sun. Maybe I need to put it on here. Alright, now we got the power bank. Ray says, Michael will have to take monitor away so I can be green. Do you want to be green, Ray? Are you serious? I can make you green if you want it. You let me know when I get further up here. I'm a little behind. But I think that distinguishes the Green Beret. But if you want to be green, that's all good too. You can be green. I like green. But maybe green could represent if they piss you off, Ray, you turn into the Incredible Hulk. That shirt comes ripping off and you turn green and turn into the Hulk. That's funny. Sula says, I just looked it up, Michael. 50 euro for a bag of 36. It's imported from the USA. It is not cheap, but if you break it down per cup, for me, it's like $1 per serving. But what you get out of it is worth it. That's one cup. I'm paying more than $1 a cup here for espresso coffee. So, plus it's more beneficial. Yes, the initial bag might seem expensive to people, but there's just some things you get what you pay for. I always say, isn't it interesting how the things that aren't good for you are very cheap, and the things that are good for you are very expensive. That should tell you everything you need to know. And I get it. Not everybody can afford it. But for me, that's in my budget. That's incorporated in my budget. I figure out a way that, hey, if that means it takes away from something else, that's how I figure it out, Sula. But yeah. It's not cheap, but anything good for you usually isn't. That's just the way the world works. And I mean, I guess they're hoping most people go to the alternative and go to the cheap thing that's not necessarily good for you. Dave is back and he says, if you use the second phone for these streams, you could put the phone on a gimbal. I'm following you. I don't know if the gimbal thing would work too well for me. I guess if I was sitting here and I had a shaded area because it would get hot, you would be able to walk around here and could track you. That's true too. I will be getting a second device at some point. I don't know if it'll be a phone. Wind noise. I saw your message there. I'm gonna try and move over here maybe, or walk down a little bit. My butt hurts anyway. I could always put my AirPods in also. Let me walk over here for 1 second. Hopefully I don't lose you. I want to throw this bottle out. Maybe I'm just going to put my AirPods. I'm by myself anyway. The only time I don't use AirPods is if I'm with Che. Let me try this. Hold on 1 minute. Sit this down. Put these in. All right. So how you guys hearing me now? Did I eliminate the wind? I'm hoping it did. But I got your message, Josh. Thank you for updating me that because I'd never get to that until the end.
think this should help. But I agree with you, David. Like I said, I always appreciate all your advice, things that I can do to improve my quality, which I will. Um, I do need a second device. I'm kind of leaning towards getting an iPad Air, the newest one. That's probably first on my list to implement into my budget. Because I was thinking another phone, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get iPad Air because I could get so much more use out of an iPad Air than a phone. Obviously, I'd have a bigger device when I edit. That would be better for editing. I could get the external keyboard if I wanted. I could also watch movies on it with Che when we have time for movies instead of watching on the phone. So I'm thinking my top two Christmas gift lists, whether it's Christmas of 2025 or Christmas of 2026, uh, 1A, 1B would be an iPad Air Max, whatever they are, iPad Air, and a Starlink mini device. Those are my two goals. Uh, Ray says, Sula, what is a good time for you to do live stream so I can adjust my sleep schedule? Sula says, oh, thanks, Chief. Likewise. Ray says, Sula, are you up early or late? Not 5 a.m. there. Chula says, gosh, it'd be after Christmas, and it depends, Ray, because some mornings I don't get home from my mother's until 3 a.m. It can be long days and nights. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Sula collaboration with Ray, with anybody, actually. I think Sula would be awesome, as well as Lynn. Wolfgang says, anyone need to know about mushroom coffee? It tastes great, but here in Thailand, it's a local brand. I just chose one and I'm happy since. Well, I'm glad you like it, Wolfgang, because I know people have had bad experiences with certain other mushroom coffees. And the only sweetener I use in it is honey. That's it. Raw honey. And then I also put a little bit of milk in it. Now, if I had heavy cream from the farm in the US and my honey for the US, that's how I made it at home. I'd be in my glory. But sometimes you got to settle for what you can get. Um, Ray says, gotcha after Christmas. Sula says, whoop, yes. And to find one that you enjoy. Wolfgang says, that's Sula. I took the one with the best ratings on Lazada. There you go. And like I said, I can only give you my opinion and advice on the ones I've tried, which Everyday Dose was the one and only. I loved it so much. I was like, why try something different? And the only reason my dad wanted to try Cuppa is because he saw the comparison, but they just had said people were saying that they taste more, even a stronger taste in the Cuppa version, Cuppa, compared to Everyday Dose. Not that you don't taste coffee in Everyday Dose, you do. Dave says, I had major colon problems as a teenager. Then I realized I could wash my colon easily with water, Colonix, enemas, and my problems instantly got 90% better. Well, try mushroom coffee. You might even be surprised. You might not even have to do the cleaning. I know I feel better. I never had serious issues, but I kind of did have discomfort and I didn't know where it was coming from. So before the issue maybe got worse, I researched and then that's how came across Everyday Dose because the owner of Everyday Dose, I don't even know if he's 30 years old, but he had issues and that's why he created that coffee and now he's obviously benefiting from it tremendously. Wolfgang says that Dave, I started detox like that. Great option. Asia-based TV. Hello from the Val. It's Philo. I changed my name. Holy crap! You changed. So you changed your name, but you still have the same. It's the same channel, so you didn't change anything out of that. How you doing, Philo? Which, if I remember correctly, your name is Michael as well. I think I'm almost positive because like we're all Michaels. We're getting overwhelmed with a bunch of Michaels. So now you're in Davao. So that's where you're going to stay. Um, Wolfgang says Asia. Hi there. Yeah, that's Michael. If I'm correct on that. Sula says at Wolf, good advice. And then we got Amy Jimenez. Amy Jimenez, like host, waving, waving, waving. Where are you from, Amy? Welcome here. I'm apologizing if I'm getting to people's comments too late or whatever like that. sometimes can fall behind. But my name's Michael. Nice to meet you. I'm here living in Dumaguete, Philippines, from the United States, but basically here for the foreseeable future. So let us know where you're from, Amy, and welcome. Wolfgang says, that's Sula. Anytime, you're welcome. Ray says, you don't need enemas in Philippines. Bum gun takes care of it. Nah, yeah, I learned what the bum gun is. It's a squirting up your butt bidet. Um, Amy's waving again. Hello, Amy. I see you. I got you now. I know you probably sent that a while ago, and my apologies for being behind. Wolfgang says that, Ray. Yes. Yes, I used it for that, but you got to be careful. Yeah, agree. Chief says everyone subscribe to Ray. He will give you the shirt off his back. He certainly will. He will always give you the fans only shirt off his back, no doubt. And Michael, I'm just going to call you Michael because I'm almost positive that's who you are. Ray in the Philippines, be careful with that. Some water supplies have born parasites. He's laughing. Ray's laughing at Chief. Amy's waving again. Hello, Amy. I see you, no doubt. Let us know where you're from. Tell us what's going on. I'm just hanging out here in the Philippines on the boulevard talking with all you great people. Dave said wind noise is pretty bad. Put a sock on the front. I'm not taking the sock off my feet, and I get it. This is my solution right here. But thank you, David. I know you want to be like Speed or One Speed or whatever the heck his name is. I'm Speed or I am Speed or whatever. That's what your dream is, to be just like him. Sula said, our parents do our best. I remember one day when my kids were small, I was angry about something and scolded. They conversed outside the room, then stood side by side and told me it was not acceptable. David says, Ray can be green. I don't own green. All should be green. Might be kind of cool, like to be green. I'm assuming I haven't gotten that far. Ray, do you want to be green? I'll get there when I get to the bottom. Uh, but then you just have to get your whatchamacallit status back. Uh, finishing and told me it was not acceptable. They stood firm and backed one another up. They were very respectful. I thanked them for their feedback and they were so proud of themselves. They were delighted it worked and walked out. And see, that's another thing. Parents need to work together. I see a lot of parents, one parent does one thing when disciplining a child, and the other parent does another thing. And then it's like whatever parent is more or less disciplinary, in my opinion, the one that's too easy on the child, uh, they always run to that person. And then it's like the other parent, whether it's the mother or the father, it's almost like they're the enemy, and I think that's wrong. In my opinion, as parents, you need to work together. And if you can't work together, then maybe you shouldn't have had kids to begin with. I don't know, but that's my little opinion, not knowing anything because I don't have any, but I just think that's the way it should be. And I know it can be tough and maybe it's a little different with kids with different biological parents and whatnot, but I don't know. I would think the best way to handle it is to come together, but what do I know? Um, uh, that's true, Ray. So it's not easy being green. Kermit the Frog. Where do you find this? How do you remember this stuff, Ray? Oh gosh, that's amazing. Sula says, as a team, I could not help but laugh to myself, but I was so proud they stood up for what was right and stood together and firm, united. That is true. We often admire our kids' tenacity quietly from the sidelines, so it's nice to hear you have great respect for your parents. Again, I wouldn't be who I am without my parents. As much as I didn't agree or disagree as a very young, stupid, immature child, um, parents are parents for a reason. They're not perfect, as are neither are we. So I respect their judgment and things in life. And obviously, if there were health related things and I was smart enough as a child, I would have probably told them, don't feed me this or don't feed me that. But other than that, I'm blessed to be alive at 55, feeling great. And again, without them, I would be nothing. Ray says, "Wind's gone. Yay." Uh, Det's here. Holy crap, Det. I just realized I didn't see you. And I don't know, Det, do you want, or Ray, do you want to be green? I want to do this. Do you want to be green? Det says, "Hey, Michael, Kumusta, Sula, Chief, and Ray. Yes, I'm doing great, my friend. Mabati, Mabuti. You say, how am I? I'm good, Mabuti. I'm good, Det." Josh says, "Hi, Det." Det says, "Hi, Josh. Cooked anything today?" Yeah. He almost threw it in the trash. Um, Sula says, "Det, hello there." Ray says, "Hi" to Det. Josh says, "Yeah, just set the trash can and garage and little candle in the living room." That or Josh, you could have your own freaking YouTube channel and just like have cooking gone bad, like live streams or videos, cooking gone bad. And you simply would be genuine yourself. I would watch that. That I'd watch your videos, and then if Ray just started doing videos or even Chief, just do them when you're sleeping. Just do it when you're sleeping. That would be hilarious. Uh, Ray says, "Hey, rebranded Philo Republic." Yeah, I might be rebranded too. Hate to maybe do it, but you guys will get used to it soon. I don't know if I can change it now anyway. I probably didn't get past the time since I changed it to something. Uh, Dad says, "Sula, what's up? You've been absent lately, and Michael's getting worried." Exactly. When you notice people aren't here, even when David's not here, I get worried. Like, you just wondered because I mean, it's been how many weeks since David was supposed to get here. I understand that's out of his control. Uh, but initially, we were worried. And then like when you see the same people here all the time and then they kind of disappear. But at the same time, people have lives too. And I don't expect people to say, "Hey, Michael, just so you know, I won't be there tomorrow because I have this to do." Uh, that's completely okay. Um, but hello, Michael, which is Philo. Uh, I'm pretty sure his name's Michael. David says, I got to go, got a star and bird here to talk with me. Ray can explain. Bye. All right. See you, David. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate everything. Just get here safe and thank you for all that you do. And Ray says, "Aren't you yet another Michael?" Yeah, I think his name's Michael. I'm pretty sure his name's Michael. Josh says, "Good luck, David." That says, "Ray, I watched your pork steak video." Yeah, I watched that. Well, he did a live stream, I think, with the pork steak. Yeah. Ray says, "Awesome, Dad. Appreciate that." Sula says, "Dad, I'm back now, Dad, and all is good. But I might be absent over Christmas and again. I'll be busy with family coming to stay. Good to see you, Dad." Sula, that's completely understandable. I'm just glad I know I have some plans for Christmas or Christmas Eve. Supposed to be a Christmas party tomorrow at a coffee shop for their employees, and they invited me to go to it. Chay's invited also. I'm not sure if she's going or not, but I'm definitely going just because when people that own a coffee shop have a company Christmas party for their employees and they invite somebody who's a non-employee, it's like family anyway. I'm definitely going. Um, I've never experienced getting invited to a Christmas party by for their employees. Yeah, I never. Last year I did. They did that also, and I was invited. Sula said, "Ray did pork steak. Need to watch that." Yeah, it looked really good. Movie clip Y2U free contest win cash certificate YouTube channel name win 300R. Well, thank you, movie clip. Appreciate you being here. Sula says, "Is David needing to talk to people to get on the next stage of his journey at Ray?" That's what I'm assuming it is. Not knowing anything, but that's what I'm guessing. Maybe it is. Ray said, "My last video, grocery shopping, which I watched. I saw that." Sula says, "Oh, yes." I saw you in the grocery, but didn't see cooking. How did I miss that? I think that was before Sula. I think that was an older video. But it looked damn good. Chili anything. I mean, I remember making chili with this ground beef. I'd add bacon to that. We always talk about bacon, incorporating bacon in it. Cook up the bacon, make it crispy, and then chop it all up and throw it in the chili. Ah, bacon and chili is awesome too. La la la. That says, Sula, I understand everyone will probably be busy on Christmas. I know on my Christmas Eve, I think I'm going to try. I got invited to the same place that did the fiesta. I'm going to try and go live. I might even go live tomorrow at the Christmas party I'm invited to at But First Coffee. I might try and do that as well. So you might see a notification from that tomorrow, and then Christmas Eve is a ways off. But so people can just see a Christmas Eve party in the Philippines. Uh, wait a minute. Ray says, yes, I believe he's referring to a full bird colonel and star as for a general. Um, Ray, did you answer where you want me green? You could have just sent me a message and said, make me green. Uh, Sula says, yes, I agree, Michael. Parents have to stick together, but my kids were confronting me with a united front. Yeah. Sula says, so funny, but great. Ray says, you have to watch until the end. So the cooking part is after the grocery store. Exactly. At Ray, I really feel for David. He has been through the mill. When he finally riles, all the stress will leave his body and be able to just breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, if I were him, like I said, I'd want to get on a hammock between two coconut trees and just be on the beach and drink the beverage of his choice and just tune it all out. Tune it all out. Sula says, Ray, oh, yes, I remember I was called away before the end. I'll go back and finish that live. Thanks, Ray. Dave said, oh my gosh. Dave says, what are the odds that Mr. Simple makes some half Filipino baby simples? Right now, that's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm being dead honest with you. Uh, not thinking about babies, not thinking about marriage. I'm not thinking about any of that right now. There's too many things I want to do, and that may sound selfish, but and Che obviously knows this. I want to just like, I haven't even been here that long. There's so much I want to see. Obviously, so many things I want to share and see with her. And we're still getting to know each other too. It takes time. You have to remember when I met Che in November of last year, we didn't see each other very often. She was working with Gary and Leah. So I didn't see her a lot. And then I went back to the US in March, didn't see her from March until June. And now, since I returned, we've been together. So I guess you can say July, August, September, October, November. So we're like in our 6 month, going on 6 months, living together, being around each other more, getting to know each other, living with somebody and all that. So we're still like, for me, being an older guy, like we're still in the, for me, like what I feel comfortable with is like the infancy stages, the learning, and there's no rush. Like I've seen too many of my friends rush stuff, and then it all ends up in a disaster. Um, and again, it's a great thought, and people say, "Oh, when are you two getting married?" It's a great thought, but that's where I always go back to me. I'm going to make decisions for me. I appreciate everybody's opinions and thoughts, but I certainly won't be influenced by anybody to do anything in my life anymore other than me. Coming to the Philippines was my choice. There were people that had their negative opinions and about me coming. And basically, I was stupid or crazy for coming here. And had I just continued to listen to other people dictating my life choices, maybe I wouldn't be here. And I made this choice for me, and it's the best thing I ever did. So I just kind of live each day as it comes, live each day as it were my last. I don't set any expectations on anything because the minute I do that is when, if you don't meet those expectations for me, I feel like a failure or whatever. And I just don't want that. But Che is amazing. She's great. She knows I love her. She's wonderful. But those things also take time. I can't predict the future, and we'll see what happens. But I appreciate that. Could be baby someday, but I don't know. I can't answer that. We'd have to get married first anyway. Um, Chief's waving to David. Chief says, Ray, is Lynn doing a drinking stream? Not that she gets subs. Oh boy. Sula says, I agree though. You do miss people and wonder, are they okay if they've not been around looking out for one another? Exactly, Sula. That's the way it is. I mean, if my parents would all of a sudden not call me 1 to 2 times a week, I'd wonder why. That'd be a little weird when you get used to a certain thing. Um, Ray said, no, not a live stream, was an actual edited video for a change. I thought the pork steak was alive. I can't remember. I get confused. You've done cooking live streams before. And then Ray says, probably not cheap. Josh said, I thought chili was just dump a can and heat it up. You can make that kind of chili, but I think the last time I ever got chili was dumping a can, which other than can of beans, that type of chili that's already pre-made in a can, uh, that tore me up. Let's just say you wouldn't want to be around me the next day. Yeah, I don't. I usually make homemade chili from scratch. Uh, Sula says, Josh, OMG, you have not lived until you've seen how a real chili is made. You need to watch Ray's video. Yeah, this is good. He makes a clean chili. Ray says, I did put pork steak in my chili, but my last edited video is just pork steak. Oh, okay, now I'm with you. Yeah, I did see the pork steak that you cooked in the pan, you put the olive oil in it. Okay. I was thinking the pork steak chili was a video. I'm like, I could have sworn that was alive. Yeah, I'd be going crazy. Ray says, blasphemy, Josh. Chili is slow cooked to perfection. Yeah, it definitely needs slow cooked. Soft beans is also important. Soft beans. Um, Sula's laughing at Ray. Josh says, slow cooking disappeared when the microwave come out. Well, you can use a slow cooker, Josh. You just put everything in there and just leave it alone. I mean, that's pretty simple. Slow cooker instead of a pot. Um, Actually, an air fryer is 1,000 times better than a microwave, Josh. And it would be easier and you could cook things much better than in a microwave. That's just one cook's opinion, though. But air fryers, I like air fryers. You can do everything in an air fryer. Doesn't dry it up. Doesn't microwave just kind of yuck. Um, Lula said air fryers are popular now. All right, so she just read my mind. Sula says, but nothing like the real deal. Agree. Microwave is only for reheating TV dinners and popcorn. Yeah, I stay away from that. Even like I'd eat my pizza. Like if I had extra pizza from the day before, I don't heat it up in a microwave. If I heat it up, it's in an air fryer, an oven, or something like that. You put it in a microwave, that dries that thing up like a piece of stiff cardboard. I mean, it sucks the moisture right out of it. It's terrible. And also, when you bring pizza home, it's in a box, take it out of the box, put a Ziploc bag, put it in a Ziploc bag into the refrigerator so it keeps the moisture. If you just leave it in the box, expose the air of the refrigerator, it just sucks the moisture right out of it too. It's just a little tip. I obviously learned that because I got tired of like your pizza next day was dried up, sitting in the refrigerator and just in the box. Um, Josh says, I haven't perfected the air fryer. My broccoli and cauliflower turned into charcoal a few nights ago. Broccoli, any of that stuff, make sure you have it saturated in butter, like real butter or some kind of, I mean, you can even put olive oil on it. But even again, you can do it in the air fryer. I don't understand what the heck. It was just way too long to turn into charcoal. Like I said, you could have your own YouTube channel, freaking cooking going bad with Josh. Dad's laughing at Josh. Sula's laughing at Josh. Josh says, even pizza rolls until I reread the instructions in 5 minutes, 15 pieces instead of the other way around. I'm telling you, dude, that would be a hell of a freaking channel. Pure, genuine comedy. Now this dark cloud. This one cloud came out of nowhere, and I felt some drip drops, but everywhere else it's fine. Uh Sula's saying hilarious at Josh. Um, Josh says, I've got a young coworker that cooks amazing meals and brings in leftovers. Best thing I eat all day is processed sandwich meat with mayonnaise. Someday you're gonna get spoiled, Josh. Like we gotta hook you up with something. That's funny. Oops. Dave said, for me, if I was financially secure and had a Filipino girlfriend, I'd have a kid with her just because it's so cheap to have a kid in the Philippines. I'm getting old, so I can't wait too long. Yeah, and I get that. I know you can't wait too long, but you also have a kid, and you got to be, for me, you got to be dedicated to that child, and it becomes all about the child. And I'm not ready to do that. Um, it's about me right now. I work too hard, too long. Again, it may come off selfish, but I work too hard, too long, and I'm finally getting to do something that I enjoy for once in my life. I'm gonna enjoy it for a while. And again, that's just me, and I'm just being honest. But everybody should do what works for them, you know. And right now, and I know whenever I want to do something different, when it hits me, then I'll do it. But yeah, the days of me uh, being guided and I'm not saying you. I mean, I just dealt with it. I talked about this the other day. I dealt with it so much in my life where I always just felt like I was living somebody else's life and I was never living mine. It's okay to give advice and be protective and try to help people, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. And they're only going to do what they want to do. Especially when you get older. That's when I realized that I was just like, I'm doing what I want to do. And if I fail doing what I want to do, then I have nobody to blame but myself. Um, Ray says, Josh, you need a Filipina. Yeah, and here all along I was thinking Josh did have one, and then I'm like, why the heck are you cooking all this darn food? I'm thinking you always did, but then it started to hit me. I'm like, something about not right. Is his girlfriend having tampo or something, and she's just not cooking for him? Josh. Sula said, I love cold pizza the following day with a cup of tea. Good tip, but would it make the base soggy? No, not really. I guess you could get a I don't know, maybe if there's too much moisture in your refrigerator, I'm sure that could happen. Um, Maybe the quality of the pizza. Again, I'm not a professional pizza dough maker, but the places I go to, I consider top notch. They're actually full fledged Italians in there and everywhere. And even if it were moist on the bottom, because I do like I'd eat it cold. I do. I've eaten it cold with Che because she would say, "You want this heated up?" I'm like, "No, I'm just going to eat it like that." Um, if it was a little soggy, then I'd put it in an air fryer or toaster oven or something like that to remove that. Ray says, if I reheat pizza in a microwave but put a few drops of water on it, yeah, you can do that. But once I experience an air fryer and a toaster oven, a regular oven's a little bit of a pain in the butt because you'd have to preheat it. Um, but an air fryer or a toaster oven would always do the trick for me. Um, it's kind of like when you have something wrinkly, a wrinkly shirt, and you need to throw it in the dryer, but it's not wet. Just get a couple ice cubes, throw it in the dryer with the t-shirt, and there you go. The moisture is created, and then the wrinkles are gone. Wolfgang says, I agree about parenting, Michael, but sometimes it's not like you should remember my ex-wife took any chances to let me look like an enemy to my daughter, despite I did a hell a lot for both of them, maybe is what you're saying. Um, well, yeah, and like I said, uh, that's just in my view, like what I see, but I see so many situations where one parent's allowing the child to do one thing, and then the other parent gets mad because this parent's allowing that, like he or she wants them to do it a different way, and I just don't think that's healthy it's not healthy for the child, and I don't think it's healthy for the relationship either. And then it's just like, a kid maybe prefers mommy over daddy or prefers daddy over mommy. because you're making mommy or daddy look bad. That's all I see. I just don't think that's right. But again, that's just me. Dave said, I'm just not going to be too dedicated to the child and that I'm not going to be home all the time. Um, yeah. Oh, all right, raindrop, you're starting to bother me. All right, well, be under a coconut tree because then I know my luck, but there's some big raindrops coming out of nowhere. Uh, ooh, all right, listen, not good. Just when I thought I was going to stay dry, I got this stupid freaking rain cloud come out of nowhere. I'm going to go over this way and see how this survives because I'm getting wet. Because this freaking came out of nowhere. You got sunshine over here and you got rain over here. Yeah, yeah. Or I could just simply cross the street. But all right, let me see where I'm at here in the rain. Welcome to the Philippines. That's all I can say. Just when you thought things were good, that I'm getting dumped on. It's like weird. I can tell at the other end it's not raining. All right, let me see. Sula says it's not selfish, Michael. Raising kids needs 24/7 commitment. It's a lot of work, but rewarding. And that's what it is. You're right. And if I don't feel like I can give the time, I don't think that's right. I don't want to bring a child into this world where I don't feel like I want to be there or he's holding me back. That's kind of how I see that. Josh says, you could be a pro-life driver, father. Nah, that's all right. I certainly wouldn't do that either. But hey, if he's happy and they're happy, um, to each his own. Um, I don't know if that's exactly what they want, but that's the way, sometimes you're dealt a certain hand and you got to just deal with it. That's the reality. I'm going to try and cross the road because there's not many cars and I don't want to get drenched. Ugh, what the hell? All right. Now I'm under here. See the rain. So weird. Now my phone's all wet. My hands all wet. Um, Josh is still in the US. All right, Josh. Josh needs some parenting. Uh Sula says that Wolfgang, that's difficult then. Sometimes relationships don't work out and the kids get caught in the crossfire. That's very, very hard. Sorry you went through that. Yeah, Wolfgang, I'm sorry for that too. Christopher says, hello, colonizer. I don't know. I'm not even know what the heck is a colonizer. I've never even called a colonizer. But welcome, Christopher. Where are you from? My name is Michael. I'm in the Philippines, living my dream, happy as all could be. Although it's pouring down rain right now. Uh, yeah. Welcome, Christopher. Wolfgang says, Sula, yes, correct. I'm divorced in the meantime. Sorry to hear that, Wolf. Josh says, if Shay is viewing, she'll be there in a moment with an umbrella. I don't even know if we have an umbrella, Josh. Uh, I've just never been known to carry one because I just don't want to carry it and have it in my hand. And these are rare. I mean, I guess it's not rare because it is rain season, but uh, I think if there was an umbrella, she would have came, yeah, right away. But yeah, much better under here, keeping dry with all that behind me. I mean, there's a lot. Even look at that drain pipe water just flowing out of there. Sula's laughing at Josh. Kay would do it. If there was an umbrella, she'd be looking for me. Dysmenorrhea and all, she'd be looking for me. Dave says, I think Americans take having children very seriously because they can't afford helpers and it's less community oriented there. I could have a kid in the Philippines and not be stressed. Get helpers. Yeah, you can do that. You definitely can do that. Sue says those are large raindrops. Yes, they are. You got that right. Josh says, I admit I watch pro life. I just wish my views didn't count. I mean, even at times like it's come up in my timeline. I can't say I haven't watched it. I think once I saw the one pop up where it was his accident with his truck, I was just like, ay, yeah, ay. I mean, pretty apparent why that even happened. And thank goodness his wife and child weren't in that truck. I don't think he's a fan for seatbelts either. That's what he wants to do, his life, while he still has one. Um, Wolfgang says, Sula, it's very dark in the back of his place. Stone Cold says, my LDR is near Cebu, is 39 and is open to having kids. I'm open to having a vasectomy. uh, I know I can always count on a laugh from all you guys. And Stone Cold, that was Stone Cold good. Stone Cold funny. That was a good one. Wolfgang says, yeah, Michael, I faced that too. Jealous people call you stupid. Yeah, of course. But they kind of retracted their comments later, so I had to give them credit. So orange. They did retract their comments a little bit, kind of put their tail in between their legs. And so I give them credit for that. Maybe that's sometimes people need to have that, you say something and then maybe something turns out differently. And then it's like karma, you know. Uh, Wolfgang says, but we made it. Thank God we're lucky and enjoy our lives. That's all that matters. Sula's laughing at Steve. um, that was funny, Stone Cold. That was really good. Sula says, Wolf, are you in the Philippines? Dave Travis said, pro life is still driving like a maniac in his new car. Again, I don't really care what he does, quite honestly. Good for him. His channel's thriving and people are making money for him. I mean, I guess, what's their, they can't complain about that, I guess, but everybody needs to do what's best for them. That's kind of where I leave it. Uh, uh, Wolfgang says, Sula, no, 3 hours south of Bangkok. And Ray says, I haven't watched Pro Light cover video in a long time. Yeah, I haven't watched any either. And like I said, I didn't even watch the whole one. The last one I kind of watched was the one from the accident because I couldn't even believe he'd make a video about that. But again, well, guys, it's been 153 minutes, and I'm sure, as I always say, you've had your fill of me. Who didn't I see here today? But they're probably busy. But I'm going to say I didn't notice Jap John here. I didn't notice Beeline Brian. I didn't notice Michael White either. Gino was here. I think I pretty much saw just about everybody. But again, people get busy and have other lives too. Oh yeah, and Yasha. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I didn't see him. But then you know what? He's probably busy with school, and I'd rather have him busy with school than busy on my live stream anyway. He's got to focus on his schoolwork and artwork. And all right, Ray says, I'll see you in all about 5.5 hours. And thank you to everybody that's been here. Thank you for the super chats, the gifts, the memberships that Ray got, and who else got one? Keith had one before. I think Ray got one, and I thought there was one other one. I'm drawing a blank. Somebody that turned green. I know. Well, yeah, Ray got one, and I thought there was one other one. Or well, no, that's right. That's right. David did buy another one or a month for himself. That's it. Well, I appreciate everybody being here as always. Let me get back down to the bottom. Um, Sharice says, have a great weekend. See you on the next live. Thank you, Sharice, for always being here. Josh says, I'll be farting and drooling, Ray. That'll be your sleep video when you go live, Josh. You're gonna have sleeping videos. We're gonna see you drooling and farting. Um, Ray says, okay, Josh. Sula says, thank you, Michael, and everyone else. Take care. Thank you always, Sula. Thank you, Wolfgang. Thank you, Det. God bless all you guys. You're really telling you. Words can't even say how much you guys mean to me. Now the rain's starting to slow up a little bit. So that's a good sign. Again, all the time you're with me, you dedicate your time. I hope you guys make me happy. So I hope my live streams make you happy too. You have something to gain from me as much as I have to gain from you guys. So until the next time, it'll be soon. I got to work on videos as well. Can't just rely on live streams. But have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys both. Take care. See you guys.